Hey everyone, Case here, and welcome to Gear Talk Episode 3. Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a great one, and welcome to 2025. 2, it's been close to 6 months since the last Gear Talk. I haven't given up on the idea of it for the channel. I am still continuing to do so, just got a little busy, and a lot has changed in the last 6 months, as you can see here, as I have quite a few pieces of kit just dumped here on the table, and want to go through each one. Now, for those who do not know, the point of the Gear Talk series is to show mine and potentially other players on the team over time our changes to our kit and why. Focus on some of the more minute changes like why do we swap out this pouch for that, or why did I move this optic to that, etc. instead of an annual review where I go through each kit in its entirety, where you sometimes miss some of the subtleties of the changes throughout the year. Now, before we begin, I do need to give a couple of caveats. 1. Everything you see on the channel is not done by professionals. We are not experts on anything you see, even on the Airsoft side, and certainly not on the actual firearm side. If you are taking advice solely from us, a Airsoft channel, for your tactical advice without ever looking at anyone else, I strongly suggest you reevaluate some life choices. 2. What we show is a journey, a tactical journey, if you want to call it that, of our teammates on this channel as we go through our life and start to evaluate some changes to our gear and our growth in this community. If you disagree with anything you see, feel free to drop in the comments and have a civil discussion about it, because we are definitely not experts. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's begin. So I got a lot of stuff on this table. A lot of it has had changes throughout the last 6 months. First, I would say, is my uniform. I've gone back to multicam uniform. I knew for a bit I was using the Ranger green uniform for green-based camos. For Airsoft games, I will still do so. But by default, I'm going back to multicam. No particular reason in general outside of I just kind of like it more, and both work fine in the environment I'm in, so screw it. That's what I'm doing. Also, sticking with uniform, I want to start with this. This is the admin pouch insert for the Plat Attack Billy pouch version 2. I'll show you some close-ups of what that pouch looks like and some of the other inserts that it comes with. This is just one of many, and though I am not using that pouch on the kit right now, it was an interesting experiment, to say the least. I think I talked about it in the last Gear Talk. I did find a lot more value in this insert because I've been looking for a small, compact notebook to shove into my cargo pocket for my PPE, pen, paper, pencil, along with some other products like notebook, laminated paperwork and whatnot. So I'm sticking this in my cargo pocket now. Small, compact, easy to get to. The Velcro on the sides could lead to some rashing over time inside the side of my leg in my cargo pocket. Time will tell. I need to keep an eye on that, but for now, I'm pretty happy with it. I will say it's a little awkward in my cargo pocket with the belt kit because the belt kit kind of goes over my hip, so it's kind of hard to get inside that pocket and grab it. Might experiment putting it with my breast pocket, but I think that'll be too small with this blouse. So still obviously a lot of refinement there, but this is something I am moving to and experimenting with. Okay, moving away from what I have in my body, let's go to concealed carry. So for those who recall, I have for the long time been using a USA Bags fanny pack, one of the many fanny packs. Unfortunately, it broke on me. The zippers are notoriously weak on those type of fanny packs. And when I went to purchase some more, they still had the same picture on the website, but when I ordered it, it came out a different pattern. It looks like they have moved to a different material, and with it, they have shrunken down the fanny pack size design as well. So that really sucked because the smaller fanny pack design is very difficult to shove a handgun and many of the other items I had in there back into it. So due to that, I have moved to the Eagle Industries fanny pack. This looks like it is the Escape and Resistance belly bag, 500 denier, and this is the gray version, which is the most civilian color I could think of for concealed carry in comparison to other camos out there, though it's still a bit noticeable to say the least. However, I do like it, good quality. I suspect it'll last longer than the other. I'm not going to go in too much detail what's in this right now, as this video is being made so close to when I'm going to do my annual concealed carry review, while I'll go in much more detail what's in here. In terms of the fanny pack, I wish it was a little bigger, just like the one before, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And hey, maybe I can find one at a time. Maybe you guys can find some suggestions for me. But keep a lookout for that video coming up. Okay, let's get the guns out of the way. So the one on my right, your left is my real one. One on my left, your right is the Airsoft. So starting with the Airsoft, this is a EMG Daniel Defense, just one of their custom ones. I think it's a 10.5 barrel length. My goal was to move to an Airsoft gun that's more akin to my actual firearm for what training purpose I can get out of that. Obviously, there's a lot of limitations with that, being just a basic AEG with no recoil, but hey, it gets closer. Fake ACOG, fake RMR, actual Surefire light, and a couple other attachments to make it very similar to my real one, including the overall weight and size that you can get. It's still a little lighter, obviously, than the real one. Overall, initial impressions, I only used it once. Pretty cool so far. Still need a lot of time on use to say if I actually think it's worth purchasing on your guys' end. However, this is sort of an announcement to say, yes, this review process has begun for this one. Expect to see a review for it in the next 2 years or so, or unless it craps out on me early, as I like to test Airsoft guns for a long time on the durability side of the house for that review process. Not a lot of channels would do that. Granted, not a lot have the patience for it, can't blame them. But if I'm going to recommend a Airsoft product to you, probably for the best, I actually spend that type of time with it. Very quickly, I violated it as long with many of the other equipment here with the power of the rattle can. This time I did not just use spray paint, but I did use a bath loofah as a splotcher to kind of give a unique pattern to this. I did it over my actual rifle as well, including some other equipment you're going to be seeing here, including my rucksack. Helps further break the shape and pattern of the rifle and whatever material it is on. Works surprisingly well. Very ununiformed, get a variety of different colors in there, and it almost makes it look like it got dragged through the mud, which, you know, hey, I kind of dig it. I'll get some close-up shots for you. Tell me what you guys think. Okay, and at the end of Gear Talk 2, I think I did mention I moved away from the British Mark II Bergen rucksack to the old school Alice pack. However, I did have a issue with it, which is my straps broke during a ruck. This rucksack's probably older than me, and it has been through a lot, so that doesn't really come at too much of a surprise. So I did talk about me getting a replacement for the strap, which I did. This is an American-made strap or harness system I got just off eBay. American-made, Coyote Brown. Can't remember the company off the top of my head, but you know, got it for cheap. Put it on. It does come with clippable adjustable straps, which is much nicer, and it does have a basic chest strap, which is something that the Alice does not have by default, so I do like that a good bit. In addition, as you can see, it got rattle canned as well as the rest of the rucksack. Just another something to break apart its shape. As for the contents of the rucksack, I never really gone into that much detail in these gear talks yet, but just like the concealed carry, one of the annual reviews I want to do is an annual breakdown of what's actually in this rucksack. That's going to be coming soon, so again, I want to stay quiet about it for now and look forward to that dedicated video. Okay, continuing forward, body armor really has been no change outside of more rattle can job on it. Still is the plate carrier that I reviewed years ago on the channel. Still remains the same. Is there plenty to improve upon this? Absolutely. It just hasn't been a priority of mine. So, is what it is, but still going strong. Alright, next up is my helmet. Still the same helmet I reviewed years before. I talked about it last Gear Talk, is the helmet covers. I have two of them now, one for green, one for tan. This is the multicam or tan one I have on here now because a couple of games I got coming up, I'll be having me using the multicam. The only other addition I have on this is the Peltor does have some multicam wraps on it. It looks really garbage on one side because the fitting on it did not fully match the Peltor. Outside of that, yeah, still going strong. Okay, taps rigs. So a couple things here. I have put a Canteen cup into one of these Canteen pouches. Even though it's up on my chest, it just still helps with getting the Canteen pouch in and out quickly without the pouch completely collapsing on you. So that is nice to have. I think I stuck like a lighter in here, some other small additions to it, but nothing too crazy. The IFAK, I did remove one of the large gauze rolls. I had a gauze roll already in there. I had a second one on top, and it was making this pouch elevate almost perpendicular or parallel with the magazines right here. So So I just removed it, pushed it, and allowed this pouch to go a little further down to easy to grab these 2 magazines. Just small stuff like that go a long way. And again, this is already a pretty oversized IFAK, and I still have a gauze roll in there, so not too much is lost, though there is obviously a risk of removing stuff out of your IFAK, you know. Just standard USGI grenade pouch. Nothing too crazy there. I think originally I had a M81. My OCD got the best of me, and I said, no, I want it all to be multicam. And in doing so, I look at this and I think, you know, outside of the H harness I got on the back here, I'm pretty sure almost every pouch on this is US surplus, which is pretty cool. It really shows you that, yeah, some surplus sucks. It's bulky. Some of it can actually be very expensive, but a lot of it can also be very cheap and quite good quality if you look around and know what you're using. So, you know, it varies a good bit. But for this, a cheap taps with some good pouches on here. Some of the Canteen pouches, Eagle Industry Canteen pouches, grenade pouch, and the Marine Corps dump pouch that I rattle cans. Of course I rattle canned it. Yeah, I would say this is pretty good. Another thing I did is this last magazine pouch back here that could also serve as a radio pouch. I had my rifle cleaning kit in it. Now, I have since consolidated that rifle cleaning kit in here. So underneath those smoke grenade pouches, I have my cleaning kit. My ramrods are flushed against it, and it works fine. What it has done is opened up my ability to have a 7th magazine on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in the weapon, and I still have this side over here for my Baofeng radio. Fun thing about this radio, I think one of the things I talked about was in the past Gear Talks was having some potential issues with this, potentially negatively discharging the talk button on it, due to how exposed a Baofeng's talk button is, especially in a cramped pouch like this. Since then, I haven't had any issues, but also I haven't had a lot testing with it, so more testing is required outside the 1 or 2 times I tried to mess with it. But for now, I'm going to keep it there and just see if it becomes a problem. But outside of that, taps is still doing good. It is not my primary piece of kit. My LB kit is, but you know, it is a cool addition to have, and there is a reason why I can still continue to have it and build upon it. Alrighty, belt kit. So this is my LBE kit, or load bearing equipment. As with a lot of this stuff, this is going to be another annual review. I'll go through every single pouch and what's in it. However, there are a couple of changes with the pouches themselves. A lot of changes. Last time I was with you guys, I had a completely different belt. I have now moved to an actual dedicated multi-cam belt. The belt itself and the back 2 Canteen pouches are from British Tactical, a UK company, but it is genuine multicam, not British MTP, which matters to me. I want to make this as much multicam as possible to be in compliance with some games I'm going to, particularly with Milsim West. Almost everything on here is genuine multicam except for the pyro pouches, so the 4 grenade pouches up front and the smoke grenade pouch in the back, which we will all get to in a moment. With that said, when British Tactical first gave me this belt, it was actually incorrectly sized. The points on the back here and the 2 on the front, the 2 on the front give you 4 points of contact for your harness. This is a 6-point H harness, so one of the 2 points up front, I still weaved through the MOLLE webbing and just made that a magical 6-point there, which is fine. But it's good that they have it at all. I think the one I was using beforehand was a surplus flick belt, and that did not have any points on it, except for I think in the back, but the one I had I think were cut off, so it's good to have any at all, though it would be nice to have 2 more. The issue is when they gave it to me, these back 2 points were not symmetrical. They were slightly one MOLLE cell to the left, I think, so one side was longer than the other. So I asked British Tactical, I said, hey, can you get me another one? And they said, sure, no problem. So great customer service there. Kind of a silly mistake, but it's all good. It's all good. Now for the front. So, and I'm going to give you zoom in for all of this. It is a 1.5 inch width belt. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's a full 2 inch, but pretty big belt buckle. I was hoping for something a little smaller like I had before. The reason for that is, yes, it is bigger, therefore easier to grab with gloves and loosen and unloosen, buckle and unbuckle. It is also a bigger target for airsoft BBs to shatter. Very few of these plastic buckles used on tactical gear, though quite durable in other things, is not so durable when faced with an airsoft BB. So I do not want this to get shattered. If it does, it's easy to replace, but that does suck. Now, moving on to the side pouches here, I have 4 MTP grenade pouches. The reason I stuck with the MTP instead of going to more multicam pouches is you can get surplus MTP pouches in very good condition very cheap. If you want to get a quality multicam pouch that isn't the USGI, it could sometimes get a little pricey if you don't know what you're looking for. For me, I was a little particular about them. I have very little experience with actual grenades, but with airsoft grenades, I do have a good bit of experience. And what I found is the USGI grenade pouches are very thin, very flappy, not very secure, and they're really only held in by a single metal snap. No additional secondary form of securement, and it just doesn't sit right in me with something like a grenade. With these MTP pouches, what's great about them is we have a plastic buckle that you must unsnap, and then you have Velcro to actually have a secondary form of retention inside. In addition, I find the pouch material to be very thick. The top of it is 2 layers of, I think, 1000 Diener Fedora, and then the inside of the main pouch is 1 layer of Fedora on the outside of the MTP camo pattern, and then this waterproofing, almost like rubber fabric that a lot of the British pouches like to use. And it just gives a lot of more sturdiness to these pouches I prefer over, say, a USGI grenade pouch. And again, you get them pretty cheap. So I got 4 of them here. Now, 2 of them are always designated as grenade pouches. These are the 2 attached to the side of my JJ's magazine pouches. This one, I usually have a compass in here. You have a compass and a range pace speeds. However, granted, I don't need a compass and pace speeds for the majority of the things I use this for, especially when it comes to airsoft. So what this quickly becomes is a 3rd grenade pouch up front. And then right here, I have a headlamp and a medical dragster that I've shown off in the last one. One of the AR comments I reflected upon after that second gear talk was my original dragster was on this side, and as a right-handed shooter, it was really weird having that pressure on that side as I was tugging. Having it on the left side kind of counteracts the way I hold my rifle. It's kind of hard to explain without just showing you, but I think it's better to have it on the left side, and I have it hooked up here. So if I absolutely wanted to remove stuff inside, I could make this a 4th grenade pouch, but until then it's mainly designated for a dragster, quick access to a headlamp. And again, unlike other grenade pouches, 2 forms of retention, so it's going to be pretty secure inside. Going to the H harness, still the same. However, if you see here, my knife looks a little different. Realistic need for a knife is, that's obviously debatable, especially in today's day and age. However, what is important, this is the same medium K-bar knife I had before in the leather holster. That leather holster was getting quickly abused through being up on the front, crawling around and whatnot, and the bottom was starting to shave off, leading to the blade being exposed. So obviously that was becoming unsafe. So I got a cheap Kydex replacement and just rattle canned it and attached it there. And it's doing pretty good, so hopefully that'll last a good bit. Alright, so flipping this bad boy around, I'm going to stop right here, talk about a couple things. One, this is a British MTP smoke grenade pouch. So I think originally I had either the British MTP rifle magazine pouch, or I think even a actual genuine multicam pouch. I can't remember which one. Point being that it does the same purpose as it does now, which is it can be used as a smoke grenade pouch on the side of the JJ's pouch. Problem is using a rifle magazine pouch, it's just larger and bulkier here, makes it more cramped. Having a smaller smoke grenade pouch made it more compact. They can still achieve what I wanted, which is you can take one large surplus style smoke grenade pouch, the larger EG smoke grenades, or 2 medium-sized ones, which is the minimum of what I wanted. Fits quite snug in there, largely protected from the elements. And once again, 2 forms of retention, which is great. Next up is the radio pouch. So this is the, I think it was the Border Town Kydex holster or pouch for the Baofeng radio. If you recall, I remember mentioning it can take the normal size battery and the extended battery. Well, I have since gotten the extended battery. Now, these batteries are awesome. The standard size batteries are real hit and miss with me. I've had them fully charged die on me within 3 hours, and some I've had last for like 8 to 10 hours. They're very inconsistent. These larger batteries, man, as long as I'm not leaving it on when I'm sleeping, like for your average weekend airsoft event, I'll just have that same battery, and by the end of the event, it might go down to like 2 bars of energy left. They last a really long time, which is awesome. I got quite a few. I got a couple of them now. Other thing, this antenna is a stubby antenna for the Baofeng. So especially when I go on ruck marches, having the normal sized antennas, which is about the 6 to 8 inch length ones, tend to bend as it's touching my rucksack and under that pressure. This small stubby helps mitigate that. The trade-off is a limited access to range. Trade-off to everything. For me, for a lot of the smaller games we go to, this is perfectly adequate, at least so far, and I'll probably continue to use this. However, I do have a variety of antennas now. I got the small one, got the normal size one of the old design, got the normal size of the new design, which does seem to be a little sturdier than the other. I have the foldable one that's really cool, and then I have the giant, car antenna one, which is going to be flopping around. I don't really like to use because of that. But I do have a lot more options now, and it's cool to see all the different accessories you can get for the Baofeng radio. Alright, and moving this bad boy in the back, we got the 2 Canteen pouches by British Tactical. Now these pouches are pretty cool for a couple of reasons. One, you got retention tabs here if you want to physically attach your harness to them if there's not points on the belt, so that's an option. I don't need it, but if you want them, you have them. What's cool in the back is you can also order a couple different accessories on this. One, you can order it where it doesn't have MOLLE webbing on the outside. I did for mine, and it's great. I know my right side here, I have my dump pouch that is attached to it, which further really does help with that. Finding an attachment point for a dump pouch on a belt kit is easier said than done if you are actually utilizing space on it. Now for the back, these both have I think they call it hidden admin sleeves. Essentially it's a zipper, and you have an extra compartment in the back of the Canteen pouch. Trade off to this, it is a little bulkier. It is a little bulkier. I think I talked about it in my last video as well in regards to this. It might have been, no, it was a training day I talked about with that, but it's fine. I do like having the extra compartment to put stuff. And then you have the actual buckle. Once again, you have a large, sturdy buckle. And then you have a second point of retention if you want it, as there is Velcro in here to cover that if you would like. What I have done is my go-to is this side Canteen pouch. So I've just put the buckle. I have hidden the Velcro to make it easy to slide in and out. And I have a Canteen cup to help facilitate that. If I ever run out of water in this one, I will then swap it with this one that has the 2 points of retention. In addition, inside of this, and I'll show you close-ups of it, there is another hidden admin sleeve that is a compartment inside the Canteen pouch. So you can further put stuff in there if you would like, without it being explicitly just rubbed against a Canteen pouch. So really well thought out Canteen design. I know some of the advertisement on the website was debating, well, it was focusing on the British Canteen pouch, which is a very different shape and size. I can guarantee you that this absolutely does hold USGI canteens and USGI canteen cups. A little tricky to get the cup in and out, but I'm more using it for not over a fire, so it's not a big deal for me. Overall, these are some pretty big pouches, but they are fantastic and well designed. Definitely a great upgrade from my previous one. And I almost missed it, which was my new dump pouch. So originally I was using the Condor Chinese dump pouch for the longest time, despite being made in China. The design was pretty good. I did modify a little bit, but overall it worked quite good. It was large, it was stiff, it was easy to shove magazines in at a 45-degree angle behind me, where this dump pouch is located. After that, I then went to the Marine Corps surplus dump pouches, which you now see in my TAPS kit. It's not as stiff around the rim as I would have liked, and it wasn't a multicam. My OCD got to me. And so what else is there out there? And one was the Warrior Assault System large dump pouch, which is what you see here and what I'm showing you footage of. Very good quality pouch. Definitely really liked it so far. Getting more time to be tested, but I will say it's, again, very difficult to find places for a dump pouch on belt kit if you are actually putting a lot on that belt kit. And it's great that not just can I find space for it, but it's also big enough to where I can actually still have room to actually put stuff in it. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, start messing with belt kit, give it a shot to see what I mean. Alright, so with that said, that was Gear Talk episode 3.
Now, a lot of the equipment I showed here today, I didn't go into too much detail about what's in specific pouches because a lot of that equipment will be coming up in an annual review for each one, at least for the LB, the Rucksack, and the concealed carry setup. So with that said, look forward to those. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys around next time. Bye.